Ewan McGregor as our Black Mask in Birds of Prey. Cathy Yan says Birds of Prey is officially going to be rated R. And Jason Momoa has already started working on pitching Aquaman 2. Stay tuned.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies. And now, here's Popcorn Talk's DC Movie News.
Wow, shaky hands in there. Is it because you're gripping so hard, or what's happening? All right, guys. Welcome back to DC Movie News. No, I'm not Jonny LoQuasto, although sometimes I do wish that I was. I am not Adam Gertler. I am not Mike Kalinowski, because I am Roxy Striar, and I am with some very talented people at this table. You know her. You love her. She's your favorite cosplayer of all time. Alana, bring the pain on. Jordan!
That's me, and still my favorite nickname, appointed from Roxy.
Else. Why doesn't it catch on?
I don't know. Well, you're the only one who calls me that, and I love it.
But they don't get it. It's the best.
Why? And then everybody else is like, why? It's Alana. And I'm like, no, that's why she says.
I don't know whether do I correct people anymore?
I don't, and it's awkward because there are people that I've known for years that still say it, and I'm like, close enough.
I know some of your friends that are like, oh my God, isn't Alana coming? I'm like, you her actual friend.
Well,
Elena, bring the pena.
Rihanna is Rihanna. Ooh. Oh, just blew everybody's mind with that one, huh?
Chrissy Teigen is Chrissy Teigen.
We've all said it wrong. I'm like, all right,
whatever. This whole time. Flying in, one of our favorite podcasters. Are you looking to see if he's flying in this minute? It's Paul Ponte.
Thank you.
It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's Paul.
Here for the Luscious Locks edition of DC Movie News.
Hey, you are like our very own Momoa in the house right now.
I love it.
All the iTunes people don't even appreciate how luscious the locks are.
Yeah, it's fun coming in on my invisible jet, enjoying the day, coming to Burbank. It's fun.
Did you just call yourself Wonder Woman?
I like it.
No, but I borrowed her jet.
Wow. Yeah. You guys
We're
on
cool
like a
like
first
that.
name basis? You texted her?
I sent her like what? Oh shoot! Now.
But how'd you find it?
How'd I find it?
But just officially over and over again. It's because she keeps a sheet over it that says Paul. Yeah. You're welcome.
There you go.
That would be pretty amazing. Paul, you haven't been on the show in quite a bit now.
Yeah, it's been a while.
What have you been up to? How you doing?
Pretty good. I went on the Warner Brothers studio tour, which was awesome. If you get a chance, DC fans, I don't know how long they're going to keep that Justice League stuff up, but all the costumes are there. It's really dope. Everyone should check it out if you're a DC fan.
Very, very cool. Yeah. You know what else you guys should absolutely check out? For all of us DC fans out there, check out the latest live action series, Titans. I know that I have been, and that you guys at the table have been as well. It's available now on DC Universe, and new episodes stream every Friday. Or if you're like me and you stay up really late on Thursday nights, you know it drops at midnight for us. The Titans was the first original series to launch on DC Universe, and Titans follows a young group of superheroes. If you're watching this show, you probably already know that we've got Robin in the house, we've got Starfire, we've got Raven, we've got Beast Boy, and tons of others, including this week when we actually had Doom Patrol, which was out of this frickin' world, and I cannot wait to talk about during TV time. It's a gritty take on Teen Titans franchise. So if you're one of those people who loves Teen Titans, but you've grown up a little bit and you want something slightly more mature, as all the mature people say, then this is definitely for you. So join the Ultimate DC membership. And for more information on this, in case I haven't sold you enough at this point, go to DCUniverse.com. It is all there. Elena, are you loving this so far?
This is so good. And I think that that's a really good thing to highlight, too, is that it's not Teen Titans. It's Titans for a reason. It's they're grown up. It's a little bit more in the realm, a little bit past what we've seen.
Tons of F-bombs, dude.
Yeah, man.
They are dropping them left and right, We've got...
But if you're a superhero, I feel like you kind of have more reason than anyone else to have some expletives dropped in.
I'm so positive that if you spent the day with Batman, it would be like, F this, F Batman, by the way.
Yeah.
F Batman.
How does Superman not look at Doomsday and go, what the F is this?
Yeah, what the F? Yeah. So again, for more information, go to DCUniverse.com and make sure you check out Titans. We have a lot going on in the worlds of DC at this point, which, speaking of things that didn't catch on, the worlds of DC.
Yeah, that was like, just for a second, they were like, psych, It was like when Pluto was a planet and they took it away. I was like, come on, man. Like, you just took away a whole world. You took away the world of DC.
It's kind of like that, but almost the opposite because everybody still thinks Pluto is a planet. And
that's true. And Worlds of DC was like, nah.
Anytime I try to correct somebody anywhere I am and they call it the DCEU and I'm like, it's actually Worlds of DC, they're like, says who? And I'm like, says a Comic-Con display. Says me.
They mentioned it once and never promoted it that way again.
So I don't really know.
It's because it was basically branding. Hey, look at our big relaunch, and then it was like, oh wait, hold on. We're still working on it. Well, it's still good. It's gonna be good, but don't look too close yet.
But I liked it. I liked it
too.
I like it better than DCEU, which we just made up.
Because it makes it sound like because the extended universe makes it sound like it's all intertwined, and I like having these standalones.
Yeah, I agree.
And when it says Worlds of DC, then it brings in the Flash and Arrow and Titans and everything else. It's all part of the worlds.
So one of these worlds that we are venturing into that seems like it is legitimately happening is the Birds of Prey film. This is something that I was doubtful for a long time just because we've had a lot of projects dangled in front of us and then taken away like the shiny objects that they are. But this one, we just keep getting casting news after casting news that's gotten me so excited. I think, Elena, it was like 4 weeks ago we talked about on the show that Ewan McGregor was in talks to play Black Mask, and then it kind of was this slow rollout to him officially being Black Mask in the Birds of Prey film. So he will be the villain in this. Getting half smiles across the table and some suspicious looks.
Well, speaking of F-bombs, it will be rated R also. That's the other thing.
That's the next piece of news, dude. Don't jump ahead.
My bad. I'm just saying, I just can't wait to see Ewan McGregor start cursing up a storm on TV. I love Ewan McGregor. And I honestly think they could have casted him as a lot of different things. Someone mentioned to me on Twitter, like, hey, they would have actually liked to see him as, like, a Green Arrow. And to me, like, honestly, you could name a good amount of DC people, and I would be like, Ewan McGregor would be good for that. But Black Mask, it depends on what they're going to do origin-wise. If they go New 52 split personality, I would be very happy because Ewan McGregor has the chops to pull that off. So,
because he can be charming. I mean, look at even this picture of him as it's showing his duality. If he can be this charming, kind of, Moulin Rouge, dream guy, and then I think I'm so excited. I mean, I think
love him.
We win with you win. Yeah, I'm sorry.
It was one of your good ones. I'll give it to you.
It wasn't.
I have so many.
This news is good. I'm excited about that.
I have tons of follow-up questions and comments of my own. One of my first questions is a little off topic, but do you guys know anybody named Ewan?
No.
I've never met anybody named Ewan. And it's just the only reason I know it's a name is because of him.
I had a little sheep that was named Ewan when I was little because it was like a U pun. Like my pun love started early.
Oh,
there you go.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's the only Ewan I've ever known.
I've never met a Ewan. I don't know what I would say. It feels like shaking somebody's hand who's like, I'm Ewan. That's like, yes, you are. Yes.
A couple weeks ago, I went to Ireland and Scotland. Didn't meet one Ewan.
No Ewans.
Huh.
And I was there.
Any Ewans in the house, by the way? First of all, if your name is Ewan and you are listening live, you better be commenting in the YouTube chat for Popcorn Talk right now because I will find you and I will love you forever. Second of all, if you're watching later on or listening and your name is Ewan, you have to comment in wherever you are on iTunes. Let us know. Or I guess if you ever have met somebody, because I feel like Ewan McGregor kind of made it up. He was no.
I don't know. I know the name exists. I've read it like in literature, but I've never met an actual.
Never met one. They don't really exist.
I have a friend named Win, so I guess if I'm like, you, Win. That's almost.
How disappointing as handsome as Ewan McGregor is if he was like, oh, but my real name's Bill.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh.
Bill McGregor, I'm still on board. I'm like, whatever, you're awesome, Bill.
Not to insult any Bills out there. I'm just
saying. Bill's a great name.
Bill's a dope name.
It's a very strong man name. Second question to you guys would be, if they officially have Ewan McGregor as Black Mask, do you think we will see him as Black Mask as much because his face is a moneymaker and Black Mask has a Black Mask furry face? So what do you guys think about that?
I just hope, if they're going to do it, I know they like to do on and off, throughout these movies.
The Will Smith situation.
As long as they don't do he doesn't have it for the entire movie, then at the end of the movie, suddenly a Black Mask, and they're like, and next time maybe.
Kind of what I'm thinking is going to happen with Joker, actually, at the end of the Joker
That I
movie.
think But I don't know. That one I'm okay with because it's an origin.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Whereas, because that would make it, I feel like this would make it more about him and his transition and less about the women who are fighting him. And if the entire premise is that this is a girl gang and this is what Margot Robbie really wanted was to have Harley highlighted by all of the female powers that she has around her, which from what I've heard is going to be the direction that they go, which I really hope is the case.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like they'll have Ewan McGregor just to be like, hey, don't forget, we paid the money for Ewan McGregor. Here he is. But I don't think it's going to be an end reveal thing. I think it'll be kind of an on-off. I would love it if they would just cover his face completely and go full Mad Max. And they're like, yeah, you're gorgeous. We know you're gorgeous. Don't need to see it. It's about the women. Personally, I feel
because
like
it is like part of him more. It's not like a removable.
It's not a like take it off thing. So that's why I'm like, just watch Mad Max. Like you can have somebody gorgeous and cover their face and have that man throughout it.
Boochtron says it's not always like that. There are some black masks where it's just a mask. So I guess it depends on what iteration they're going with. And a lot of people are talking about how Ewan isn't as big of a name to get people to theaters. Like Margot's going to be the one that drives this. So maybe they don't need his face on all of the promotion. A lot of people also talking about how Roxy's a fake name. So I feel you, Ewan. Maybe I'm the first Roxy you guys have met.
Speaking of the Margot Robbie thing, Suicide Squad was what, 2 years ago? 3 years ago?
No, not 3.
Not
Two?
3. It was
2 years ago?
2.
Yeah.
Was it 2?
Maybe a year and a half.
Yeah, it was 2 because they had all the promo at Comic-Con, which was 2 years ago.
Okay.
They had the Harleys,
I don't know if anyone's been around on Halloween, but there are still Harley Quinns.
But I don't know if anybody's been around for the past 10 years before the movie came out. There were still Harley Quinn.
I know, but I mean, the movie version is what I'm saying.
True.
There's a lot of people still, even people I know who aren't super into comic book stuff. I saw them posting they were Harley Quinn for Halloween, and it was the one from Suicide Squad, and I was like, there's something about that character that even if they're not super into it.
Suicide Squad was August 5th, 2016.
There you go. 2 years.
That's more.
More than 2 years ago.
2.5 years. What have I done with my life? What's happened?
Some kind of a Suicide Squad?
Well, I'm definitely part of a bunch of squads, including the DC Movie News Squad. Yeah. So I haven't seen a single negative thing about this casting on the internet, which is pretty rare. I think that Ewan McGregor does not overbook himself in things, so it's not like we've seen so much of him recently that we're sick and tired of it. And so I'd love to see what he does with this character.
Yeah.
No matter mask or not.
You winner.
But hopefully mask. Not because he's not handsome. Just because it makes sense.
So you win. You win on this news.
Yeah.
So I'm all in. I'm
all in on Ewan.
Ewan.
All in.
You win.
Hey, are you
we
in?
We win. We all win with Ewan.
It's too easy though, Elena. We have to challenge you
it's
more
too many.
because the pun game.
It's not good.
You're not even at your best right now because it's just anybody could do it. Let's talk a little more Birds of Prey because as it was already spoiled for us. Yes, it is going to be rated R. Cathy Yan confirmed this, but she also talked a little bit about how she got the job, and I absolutely adored this, mostly because it's just kind of like, well, how does anybody out there argue with that? And I'm going to read you guys her quote from this because it's pretty perfect. So she said, I did my homework. I wouldn't say it was easy, but it was relatively painless and straightforward. I immediately loved the script, and it felt like something I could really do, and it felt very much like my own voice. I could not put it down, the script down. It had so much dark humor to it, which is a lot of my work does, and there are themes of female empowerment, which are so strong and relatable, so I went in with, not with confidence, but at least a sense that I belonged in the room, that somehow magically in terms of timing and luck, that this opportunity was open to me, and I was definitely going to make the best of it.
This is what's incredible to me, though. She had never done a pitch before. She had never created like a sizzle for this to bring. She went to the executives at Warner Brothers, just asked her friends to kind of help her out and the people around her to help her out, saying, how do I do this pitch? And just knocked it out of the park for your very first pitch to be like, let me do this, and they go, yes.
But she said, what I hate hearing from people over and over again, I feel like this happens so much in Hollywood, is like, it was just luck. I happened to get it. You never know. I just showed up. She's like, well, I did all of the work, and I studied, and I researched, and I, did the homework, and then they picked me.
You'd say it was pitch perfect.
Oh my God, I love you right now.
Competition game strong.
Not even competition, it's all love.
Paul throwing his iron in the fire. Yeah.
Everyone's a winner.
Yes.
It's a Ewan situation.
So it's hard because go ahead.
I was going to say, I think what's so cool about this too is that she had a very clear vision. And I think that that's why they picked her, and that's why I'm most excited about this movie. Is from the pitch meeting, she walked in and she was like, "Here's a sizzle that I made that that basically conveys the tones that I want and tonally what I want you to feel." And anytime that I've worked on any sort of movie indie or anything, that I've actually gotten to talk to a director that was like, "Look, I have a clear vision for this. Listen to this soundtrack. This will give you an idea of the tone," or just anything that they're like, "Here's the inspiration that I have behind it that I'm using to fuel this vision." It always turns out better. And the fact that she's had that from the time she picked up the script makes me think that the final product that we are going to see is going to be absolutely incredible. And I
agree. It's hard to be fully, I'll be honest, because you guys know I love to play devil's advocate, I guess. It's hard to be fully on board with somebody who I don't know's work that well. So I will say that. It's not like she was selected to be director and I was like, yeah, I've been waiting my whole life
that's
for
my
this.
thing.
Yeah.
I have a Dead Pigs poster.
Exactly. So as opposed to Patty Jenkins, where Monster was my favorite female performance. I don't even like putting that word. It's my favorite performance of all time. So knowing that Patty was able to pull that out of somebody, when she came on to Wonder Woman, I was like, hip, hip, hooray, because that to me meant that's what we were going to get, a very, very strong performance, somebody who's able to pull that out. So with Cathy, I am by no means saying she can't do this. It sounds like she definitely can, and that she did her homework and she's proven herself. But personally, I'm sitting here like I'm anxiously waiting with bated breath. Hopefully you rock it, girlfriend, because I don't know your work.
Yeah, I really like the authenticity, though, in that article where she basically even says, like, I didn't even know if I really wanted to do this. Because, so many times you hear people being like, oh, I was so excited immediately. How could I not to do this opportunity? Whereas she was like, I didn't really know if a superhero movie was for me. And then I read the script and it won me over. And that to me makes me a little bit more excited about the writing. And I kind of like the refreshing honesty of being like, I didn't really know if I wanted to do this.
Yeah, agreed. A lot going on in the chat right now. Mike Riley says, I like a fresh-faced director being given the reins as long as they're given creative freedom from meddling studio execs that don't know jack about creativity. So I think we're all kind of agreeing with that. Yeah. Also, a lot of talk in here about the R rating. Let's kind of break down that portion of it that Cathy confirmed. So to me, this has got to be the ... most situation. Not that they got it, but like that's what it should be. This screams R rating to me. How do you guys feel?
If they had made it PG-13, I think that would have come at the cost of some really good content. I know some people say you don't need an R rating to have a really solid film. And in some cases, yes, that is true. But I feel like in this case, the rating reflects the content that needs to be included to tell the story the way that you want it to be told. And so, I mean, the whole rating system is brought in just so that you're aware of what's going to be seen. And it's in turn kind of become more of a censor than anything else, while the people are looking at numbers are saying, well, the bigger audience that you can have means the more money we can bring in. So even if that comes at a creative cost, that's fine. The fact that the studio is able to say, no, we still want people to have the costumes for it, the merch and everything, and sell the toys, but the actual film itself, we want to be good enough to really reflect what DC is about. We want to give our director that creative freedom. She needs an R rating, make it R.
Yeah, I think it shows a lot of confidence, too, in Warner Brothers' approach to this, because the main criticisms we always heard about the people who are super, don't like DC is it's too rough and gritty, trying to be, and, that they're trying to copy other studios. So you could say, like, oh, our movie, they're just going to gritty it up, blah, blah, blah. They're trying to rip off this, trying to rip off that. But when she says that it fits in with her dark humor, that's what gets me excited for the R rating. Because it'd be very easy for them to pick a random other character and make a Deadpool film. where they were like, yeah, it's rated R because we're just going to be wacky time. But instead, to bring it into a movie like this, which is not going to be anything close to what Deadpool is, but also still be a funnier, even if it's darker humor, comedy that's also rated R, like, I think that shows a lot of...
Let me ask you guys, because I don't think it's official yet. I'm under the assumption that the Joker movie is going to be R-rated. Are you guys under
100%.
that assumption as well?
I think so.
It has to be.
So do you think that this is going to be a new wave for DC where we have Joker, Birds of Prey, then, if Birds of Prey does well, R-rated Gotham City Sirens, if that's the vein they're going, an R-rated Suicide Squad 2. Again, speculation. I'm not saying those have been announced. I'm just wondering if that's
Suicide
kind
Squad
of where
2,
they go.
I think no, just because they already have established their franchise and they've already established the age that they're gunning for. But I think overall... I think it's a good move to the R rating, and I think that we've seen it across the board. Even I'm most excited about kind of the R-rated Titans. That is phenomenal. And if you guys are a DC fan, you definitely want to check it out too, because the latest live action series Titans is now available on the DC universe. Yeah. It's so good. It premiered on October 12th. The new series is available to stream every Friday. The original series launch on DC Universe is this is the first one to launch on it, so I can't wait to
Everybody
see
wants to be
more.
part of the first stuff.
I know, and it's so good. And if this is the tone that we're going for, I am so on board because I love this show. It follows the group of soon-to-be superheroes. Of course, the full cast is there. Dick Grayson, Rachel Roth, Corian, of course, Starfire, Beast Boy, all the whole crew is in.
We're bringing the whole gang.
Everybody's there. The group gets caught up in a conspiracy to bring hell on Earth. So it's really a hell on Earth scenario. People who say that, it's like, this is a literal, they become the surrogate family, this team of heroes, brings in all of these different tones and all of the things that they love to convey in DC.
Motley crew.
Yeah, it's great. It's like this gritty take on the Teen Titans franchise that's completely unique. It's from all of the best executive producers, of course, Akiva Goldsman, Jeff Johns, Greg Berlanti, Greg Walter, John Fawcett, everybody. Not Teen Titans, just Titans.
They grew up.
Titans, they grew
It's
up.
been in our head the whole time. Teen Titans, and now
Teen Titans, and now it's like,
drop the
no,
teen.
no, Titans. It explores one of the most popular comic book teams ever. And it's only available on the DC Universe. Extra incentive to get the DC Universe. So many reasons anyway, but this show really puts it over the edge. It's available on all of your devices. It's only $7.99 a month or 20% year off. You can get 20% off if you get a yearly. Get the yearly subscription. You get 20% off of it. So
let's be honest, we all know we're going to do it for a year.
We're going to watch it for a year.
Anyway, so
just
might
do
as
it.
well.
Just save the money right now. And it's so cheap, even if you go monthly. It's like pay it, worth it, love it. Join the ultimate DC membership at dcuniverse.com. Check out Titans.
Tons of people in the chat have already done so, people who are planning on doing it. So I love hearing about that. You guys let us know what you think of Titans. I can't wait to hear your thoughts. We're talking about it more in TV time. Let's move forward to talk a little Aquaman right now, though, because just a couple little bits here. Amber Heard talked about why she joined Aquaman. And again, just in the most simple thing, it doesn't take much to sell Aquaman. Let's be honest. It's not like Amber Heard was starring in 15 franchises and she probably heard Aquaman and it sold her. But in case it didn't sell her,
heard Aquaman.
But in case that didn't sell her enough, this is what she said. They had me at sword and a crown. Zack Sneider and I spoke on the phone, and I didn't really think a comic book film would be something that would be appropriate for me. I didn't really, knowing nothing about the comic book world, knowing nothing about the universe, I didn't really have any reason to feel like that would resonate with my sensibilities or my core principles. But sword and crown. And
again.
Yeah.
I love when people are like, hey, this is not my world, I'm not a fan, but swords and crowns, though.
And because she goes on to be the kind of female empowerment aspect of it. When she was talking about, she's like, I was told about this battle scene and Aquaman shows up and then I'm there and people are like, who are you, Aqua Woman? And she's like, nah, I'm Mara. I got my own name. I'm my own person. Bow down, fishes.
I don't like the sound of Aqua Woman is just...
Aqua Woman is weird.
It sounds like a wet woman. An aqua She's
Aquawoman. It sounds like a knockoff, like Aquadigio. It sounds like a really cheap perfume.
Sounds like a lotion.
I'm not really down with it. I'm not very down.
Good for your scales.
And we'll talk more about Aquaman and what the projections are. But before we do that, let's talk a little bit about the fact that Momoa's not fazed by anything right now because he has a plan for an Aquaman 2, which I just love, like full speed ahead. He's just like, no,
I
this
just
is
love
my
how
deal.
cocky he is, that he's just like, oh yeah, as soon as we were doing Aquaman 1, like I was just like, Aquaman 2, I got it in my head, I've already got the scenes, I'm picturing it.
This is what he said.
That was
Even
my
when
Jason.
we were shooting Aquaman, I have the opening of Aquaman 2 ready. I went in and pitched it to the producer, Peter Safran, and I pitched it to Toby Emmerich. He says they loved it. It's awesome. But yeah, I have plans for Aquaman 2.
Why do I picture him as that one viral video of the surfer guy when he's pitching it? He's just like,
What
and then
viral
Aquaman,
video?
when Aquaman, he's gonna jump in and boom, so pitted. It's gonna be so dope, bro.
I don't think
And
I've
then I'm
seen
gonna
this.
You haven't seen
Me
Pitted,
neither.
bro?
No,
Oh,
I'm just
see
picturing.
this.
that's an old school viral clip right
I'm
there.
picturing Toby Emmerich sitting there and Momoa being like, yo, the opening scene. And Toby's like, let's get through Aquaman 1. And
Yeah.
Momoa's like, but in the second one.
That's what I love is the idea of Jason Momoa pitching this. Like, not James Wan. Like, it's like Momoa's like, no, I got this.
I imagine him doing it while he's throwing axes at the wall.
Dude, which I'm also going to say, I feel like we need to have a group outing for DC Movie News. There is a new axe throwing place here in LA. And
What is it?
My friend works there now. He is a professional axe coach, which is the
What
dopest
is
title I've
that,
ever
dude?
heard. You toss axes, like hatchet style, like Jason Momoa.
Damn, I need that in my life.
We're
I
going.
definitely do. So what I hinted at before, though, was that it's not looking like the predictions, and I want to preface this as much as I can. It's not looking like the predictions, possibly, maybe, not certainly, that it's not tracking very well right now. And again, we've seen it happen 5,000 times where this is not the case, but people are not thinking that Aquaman is going to make as much money as initially we thought. It's predicted to earn right now between 40 and 60 million domestically, and that would not be a flop by any means, but it would not hit the success which they were hoping. I believe Justice League made just a shy of 100 mil, like at 96 or something, and people were thinking originally that Aquaman might hit that 100, but it's not looking that way.
I'm like, Venom, also projected 60,000, made over 500.
Good.
I mean, so 60 million made over, yeah. I'm
Wonder
like,
Woman projected at
60,000,
65,
yikes.
made 103.
Yeah.
So there's tons of ways that we
Just
could
saying.
look at this, but what
I'm saying to say 60 and then have 500, and it's like, y'all were very wrong.
I
Like,
agree. I completely agree. But again, you guys know you love it because I'm devil's advocate. I think Aquaman is going to do better than they're suggesting, but I don't think they're doing themselves many favors by the fact that they're going up against some heavy hitters in that time period. Bumblebee also coming out the same day. Holmes and Watson doesn't look interesting to me. It didn't look
I can't
funny at
wait.
all to me based on it, but that's coming out. Welcome to Marwen. That's coming out the same day. Mary Poppins is coming out 2 days before. So there's a lot of things that you can go with your family to see. Vice
you know
is
what
coming
they
out
say.
2 days later
A week
or 3
earlier
days
is
later.
the Spider-Man Into the Verse.
Into the Spider-Verse is a week earlier. And I know tons of people who are now saying, based off the Bumblebee trailer alone, on December 21st, I will be seeing Bumblebee instead of Aquaman. I'm not one of them. I want to see Bumblebee. I think you can see both. But I'm hearing it over and over again that people are choosing Bumblebee over Aquaman.
Well, the seaweed is always greener in somebody else's lake.
You dream about going up there, but that is a big
mistake. Just watch Jason Momoa. Bumblebee will still be there. Sorry.
No, it was really good.
We should all go see the movie. You watch the show so you care.
Bum bum, DC movie news.
Yeah.
DC
Support all our
movie
movies.
There you go.
And I just watched everybody leave the chat room. Let's talk a little. This will get him back. Don't worry, we'll get him back with Wonder Woman because finally a movie that we have that nobody has any qualms with. Wonder Woman 84. Well, I'm sure 15 people just yelled at me like, "We don't like this movie." Well, suck it.
You're basic.
Robin, you're basic.
Yeah, basic.
You're basic.
Robin Wright confirmed that she's returning to Wonder Woman 84, and
That's Robin, right?
we knew this. We knew it.
Yeah.
She basically dropped it so casually, knowing that we knew. But I'm excited to see her because
You're not
she's just
Robin
great.
wrong.
She's a great general, and just like you do you. I'm gonna move past it. I'm gonna move past the Robin wrong because it's fine.
If she wasn't in it, she'd be robbing the audience. I mean,
Yeah.
You don't understand how many comments in the chat today have just been about your guys' pun war and dynamic duo-ness. It's pretty unbelievable. Staying
We're
on
sorry.
No, you're not. No, you're not. Let's stay on the Wonder Woman train because it's a train I love to be on. We had new, I don't even know if we can call them set photos because she is getting her hair touched up, but she's just so beautiful and so Wonder Woman-y that it's worth showing. Gal Gadot on the set of
she's
Wonder
let herself
Woman.
go. Look at her. I mean,
Shut up.
I was like, is he making a
you
pun?
out of here.
But I like this one watching her with Patty Jenkins just because it got me excited. I just like seeing them together.
Them so much. And I love Patty Jenkins just being so just all about this movie and all the people who sent in tweets about like how they were dressing up as Wonder Woman and she was retweeting them and she was like, yeah,
they
you go,
retweet
girl.
so
I
much
love
great
it.
stuff.
I love it.
But this was not my favorite Gal Gadot picture of the week. My favorite one was one that she happened to Instagram where she is donning the Batman cowl, which is pretty freaking great. It took me a minute when she posted this to realize what was happening here. Because, like, her lips are just so lusciously pushing through. It's very large on her.
Yeah.
Like, it's really great. Check out her Instagram. Is it just gal_Gadot? Or is it Gal Gadot? Gal_Gadot if you want to see this in case you're listening on iTunes or check out our
Because,
YouTube.
again, both of them so into their social media. Very posting awesome stuff for fans all the time. So
I saw people like really reading into this. This was just fun, right?
Oh, yeah.
she's just having fun. It's Halloween too. It's like, y'all calm down. She's like,
they're like,
obviously-
don't expect her to don the cowl in a movie, though. Yeah, we know.
Yeah, we
What,
know.
Does that need to be said?
She wrote
She's
as the
like-
caption, "I'm Batman," and then people were like, "But is she Batman?
Is she gonna be
And I was
Batman?
just
It's like,
what?
no, she's just showing the fact that she can be adorable wearing the Batman
Yeah.
mask. How many people can pull that off?
So strange, so strange. Let's move on to Ray Fisher, friend of the show. We love him. And this was interesting because he's been pretty quiet recently. We haven't heard much from our man Ray, but he talked about wanting Sneider to possibly direct the Cyborg movie that we all are hoping for and guessing is never going to happen. And Ray seems to be very realistic about it. He says, originally, Zach explained the overall plan for me at the time and yada yada about Cyborg. But he does say, I think Cyborg has the potential for a superhero film unlike any we've seen before. If Zach were to ever come back to direct another DC film, he'd be my top pick to direct, which I thought was very sweet.
Yeah, I love that. And I feel like it's also, if they had gone with the initial Sneider vision, which I know is so much speculation at this point that it's like I almost don't want to open that.
Show me the Snyder
people,
Cut.
Have people been talking about it?
Yeah, no, it's brand new. I haven't heard anything about it for months and months and months and months on end.
Oh, God.
But I think it's like if it had gone with that vision, he made it pretty clear that he wanted to have all of these things that were going to be tied to it and that it was setting up for a bigger universe.
Yes.
And I feel like this probably would have been a part of it. Mm-hmm. And so I'm hoping that we get it in some incarnation. I don't think we'll ever get a Sneider
Sneider Cyborg movie with Ray Fisher is something that I would love to see just because
I'd be so into
the
it.
place we would have to get in order to get there would be like, what just happened? But, you know, maybe pigs can fly one day.
It's another example.
Maybe we're just fishing for. Sorry.
I was trying to think of one, and it was killing me.
I was
but
more
Ray Fisher, you know.
What about like it would be a ray of light?
Ray
There
of
you go.
light is a good one, yeah.
Yeah.
Little ray of sunshine shining in on our dark universe.
This is another example. Just no matter what people say about Zack Snyder, and a lot of people are not big fans of his movies, and some people are ultra fans of his movies. The fact is, it seems like everyone who's ever worked with him really loves the dude. And like no matter what, like it's not like you hear about like some Michael Bay stuff where they're like he was like I think T.J. Miller called him an emotional terrorist on my podcast.
It's a nice thing. It's a sweet thing to say.
Whereas Zack Snyder, it feels like no matter what happens, even if a movie does poorly, everyone's kind of like, yeah, but we love Zack. Like, wouldn't it be great? Like,
Not everyone. Some people. You know?
I'm just saying the people that work with him. He's obviously a nice dude.
Yes. I get that sense too. And I believe it was Adam who met him and said that he was such a doll.
I met him
just seems awesome.
I met him at WonderCon one year in the bathroom. which was interesting. He was singing a Hillary Duff song while he was at
Which one?
the urinal. I don't remember. I just remember it because
as you pee.
And wash away.
I just remember because when I said hi to him after, he's all, "Oh, did you hear my Hillary Duff rendition in there?" And I was like, "I did." He's like, "Oh, okay."
That's nice. Did this come across your guys' screen at any point? Because this was the story of the week that just kept on popping up for me. You know how the computer hears you and they know what you like, and then they send you things that they think you'll love? This was
Superman
this for me.
and Jules.
Yeah, this was 100% what happened here. It just kept
It's
being
because
like,
you're the crown jewel of DC movie news. If there's any jewel references, you're going to get them.
over and over again, it was like, kryptonite is real. And so finally, after 15 times of me seeing this, I was like, but is it? Like, what is it really like? Real largest kryptonite ever found. And I was like, what does this mean, Basil?
It means Wizard of Oz, Emerald City. It's
so
all lies.
they're if you guys are interested in science at all or anything of that sort, the largest emerald looks just like kryptonite. It was found and it is super green, as an emerald is, and super aggressive and glowy and fabulous, and I need it in my life.
But I'm like, it only glows because there's light behind it, guys. Like,
Whatever,
jewels
Elena.
do. Like, I'm like, they didn't find a radioactive emerald that they're like, no, this is fine.
You don't know that.
I mean, the thing is happening in Antarctica right now. Scientists are stabbing each other over books. It's
Yeah.
like, it's happening.
It is 5,655 carats. I know nothing about anything, but a lot of my friends are married, and I know that that's a lot of carats. So that's about the extent of my knowledge. And this
That's
thing
like
looks
keeps
huge.
Bugs Bunny fed forever kind of carrots.
Yep.
You think you could wear it around your neck without falling over?
No, I think that would snap your neck and be the most glorious way to go.
Worth it. Death by kryptonite.
Yeah.
What do we do? How
I don't
do we
know
do
if it's
it?
worth it. I don't think that's worth it.
Like, you would have to follow me there and be like, it's not worth
Like,
it, Roxy.
don't, Roxy. And like, don't let her wear it. And
I
everyone's like,
want
wear
it. I want to so bad. We mentioned
We put it in
I
your
wear it?
crown of the crown,
The crown
jewel, and
jewel.
we're like,
and that's how she went
no.
out. Yeah. Sorry,
She went out doing what she loves.
So worth it.
Harnessing
didn't think this
kryptonite.
through.
Don't worry, guys. We obviously will do it live on air so you can catch it. The Joker's somebody we've talked about a lot in the last few weeks, and this was an interesting thing that popped up. I think it was Reddit, as most things like this are. Somebody was comparing the original concept art for TDK for not necessarily the Joker, but more for the bank robbery scene in those masks, and looking at that original concept art with Joaquin Phoenix Joker and how similar those designs seem to be.
But this is the thing to me, is I'm like, yes, it looks like clown makeup. That also looks like clown makeup. And it's like, wow, I wonder if he was inspired by every other clown that has ever existed.
Yeah.
They're not like, it doesn't have the dots. It doesn't have, like, I mean, it's similar and could potentially be some sort of inspiration at some point. But anybody who's like, look at them just ripping off this other, it's like, it's not though.
I'm enjoying this though. See, I like this idea of like, it could be or it couldn't be. But you're right, there are some people who are so on one side of this. Like, this is something that you really have to argue about.
Yeah.
Like, there are people who are like, obviously it's not. That's just clown makeup.
People are like,
You
I
guys
know
are
for a
stupid.
fact.
Like,
No, you're stupid. I know it is.
It's like,
I
look
know
at
it
this.
is.
Look at this rip-off.
It's
The
like-
rip-off thing is what pisses me off. And I'm
Yeah.
like, did he rip off Ronald McDonald? Did he rip, like, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm like, come
Yes.
on, man. That's
Yes,
the
he did.
Hamburglar. The
Ron-
Hamburglar is the only one who is
Don't
allowed
rip off
to rip
Ronald
off.
McDonald. He'll come after you.
I don't know if I'd mind that. It'd be kind of funny.
He loves to see you smile.
So I
Can you imagine?
the only
like,
reason
Joker
I pulled
goes
it
into
up,
McDonald's. I
You
want
know
that
how I
scene.
got this smile?
He's like,
a happy meal. I just think it's kind of cool when people do look at like, even if this wasn't something that they were doing consciously, maybe they'd seen the concept art, maybe it played, if whatever. It's just kind of nice.
Well, the death of Superman Lives, what happened? They showed all that concept art, and a lot of it ended up getting used in Man of Steel. A lot of it ended up getting used in even Superman Returns. Like, they go back through these archives, and they look, they're like, what looks cool? Like, what's something we could
I
build
love a
something
good
off
John
of?
Schnepp reference, by the way.
Oh,
we
of
do a
course.
bunch of them on this
Schnepp
show.
lives.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Let's move over to one of my favorite times. You guys know where I'm going with
Oh
this.
shit!
Is it time? Is it time? What time is it?
It's time for Roxy Striar's TV time.
That's me.
It's her.
He is definitely fine.
So
Yes, it is. Oh my god, I have so many sausages in my fridge right now.
What? Give me some.
You weren't here. Adam came in and unloaded all of his sausage on me, and it was just glorious.
I was not invited to the sausage party.
No, you weren't. But I will say, Jonny was also a part of the sausage party.
How could he not be?
How does that
And-
make me feel better? I'm just
Well,
more excluded.
I'm getting there because Jonny left his sausages in my possession, and now I have both of our sausages, and he has unclaimed his sausages that are in my freezer, and I think they have Elena Bring the Pain Out written on them now.
I think to celebrate Johnny's upcoming best day of his life, his comedy special that I cannot wait
November
for.
11th.
November
We'll bring it.
11th. Everybody check it out. Gonna be awesome. Let's celebrate by burgling his sausages.
Let's definitely celebrate in that way, but a little bit more of a classy way to celebrate for you DC fans out there. You definitely want to check out the latest live action series, Titans, which of course is available now on DC Universe. I know I've checked it out, you guys have checked it out, and it's definitely worth investing in. The series premiered on October 12th. New episodes are available to stream every Friday, or like me, you wait up real late on Thursday night and give yourself an excuse to stay up and watch something.
Because you need an excuse.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Titans was the first original series to launch on DC Universe, and first is the best, so you guys always want to make sure you're on that train early. It follows a group of young, soon-to-be superheroes, including some of your favorites, Dick Grayson, Rachel Roth, a.k.a. Raven, Corey Anders, Starfire, Gar Logan, which is Beast Boy. He might even be my favorite right now.
love
I go
Beast
back
Boy.
and forth. They're all, Starfire's so good. They're all great, honestly. But Beast Boy, he does have my heart, I will say. The group gets caught up in a conspiracy to bring about Hell on Earth, which we know is Elena's favorite, Hell on Earth. They become a surrogate family and team of heroes, and it's a gritty take on the Teen Titans franchise, which we all know and love, but if you want something a little bit more mature, this is definitely for you. It's from executive producers Akiva Goldsman, Jeff Johns, Greg Berlanti, Greg Walker, Sarah Schechter, John Fawcett, so you know, just a team of very heavy hitters right there. You want those people working on your show. Titans explores one of the most popular comic book teams ever. I definitely think that's true, if not the most popular.
Probably
and it's
the
available only on DC Universe. So if you want to see Titans, you have to go to DCUniverse.com in order to do that. It's on all of your favorite devices, so whatever you got, don't worry about it. You'll be able to get it there. And it's only $7.99 a month. Or if you want 20% off of that, just get the yearly membership. Let's be honest, we all do that thing where we go month to month because we're like, I don't know, you're gonna get this for a year. You're just gonna. So get the 20% off now so that you save yourself some money and join the ultimate DC membership at DCUniverse.com. That is DCUniverse.com. Which brings us into our TV time. Let's just talk a little Titans right now. So, Doom Patrol episode. If anything, I will say, I won't give spoilers. I am so excited for the Doom Patrol series. I need that to come very quickly into my life. Elastigirl blew my mind in this episode. She was so creepy and cool. It was pretty wild. So definitely it changed my opinion on where the show was willing to go, because it introduced an entire new group of people so quickly.
I think the show has just it's kind of building on its stride. It's getting better and better.
Yeah.
And if this is how they're going to launch other potential series as well, they're doing a really good job, to be honest. And, that was something that in the beginning with the WB series, we thought the same thing, oh, wow, they're really doing a good job of introducing these other series. And then they came on and we all loved them and blah, blah, blah. So to see that this looks like it's going to follow the same kind of track record is really exciting, and really make sure that you get that DC Universe subscription.
I'm kind of pushing for, after seeing Hawk and Dove, I kind of want a Hawk and Dove show.
I so want a Hawk and Dove show. I'm not even kidding.
Same.
I'm so into it.
I know. It's kind of becoming my new how Adam is with Swamp Thing. That's how I feel. I'm like, but what about Hawk and Dove? What do you think about Hawk? Because I love Minka Kelly too. I'm such a Friday Night Lights fan. We also had new episodes of all of our CW shows this week because we are back in full-blown fall TV. even though it's almost winter. What season are we in right now?
We're technically fall. It's still fall.
Okay, it's
November is fall.
California
we're
fall.
still in fall. So
Everyone else is summer.
Yeah.
we had Flash, Arrow, Legend of Tomorrow, Supergirl, Black Lightning, all of them on this week. And I will say, I'm very proud of myself. I'm caught up. I did the whole thing. And it's taken a lot.
That's why it's called Roxy Striar's TV
Yeah,
channel.
yeah. I don't know what you guys have watched. Also, chime in if there's.
I think this is this. Has there been another season where all the shows have started off this strongly all together?
I agree. This has been a really strong premiere couple of weeks.
All the
for
new
all of them.
villains? I'm
Yeah.
into all of it.
Hey, did you check out Legends of Tomorrow with the Fairy Godmother episode yet? Because
Not yet.
Is it good?
it's so weird. It's so weird
wanna
and good.
I see.
That's why I love Legends of Tomorrow, because they could do stuff like that.
Oh, and you can tune in. This is the number one that I recommend to anybody who is not a fan of DC. Not because you're not a fan, but just because you haven't watched all the other shows. You can pick up Legends at any time and be like, this is amazing. Because it's so wild. And now they're with Constantine on the show. It's just like next level. So anyway, check out all of those shows, as I'm sure a lot of you guys are already doing. To get to a little bit of TV news, all season long, when we've been watching The Flash, I do the show for Only Stupid Answers, where we've been making fun of the fact that we've been calling Jesse L. Martin, Joe West, pregnant. Not because he looks big, but because he's always sitting down. And this is what they do when women are pregnant on shows. They always sit you down because they don't want to show the bump. So there's a table in front of you or something. And I'm like, why do they keep having him seated all season? Like, this doesn't make any sense. And who's the biggest bitch in the room now? Because it turns out he's actually taking a leave of absence from the show because he really hurt his back over the hiatus. And he's been trying to push through, but it's just not working. And so, yeah, he's having to take a temporary leave. He's said that he definitely will be coming back. But, you know, it's kind of crazy because he's only 49. Yeah. So this is
back injuries are no joke.
No joke, man.
Yeah. There was what a roller coaster of emotions I had when I read this news, because all I saw was Jesse L. Martin not gonna be in the Flash for a while. I was whoa.
Yeah.
I was already like, no.
Yeah,
no.
we already built up the
who
opinions.
Who doesn't love Papa Joe moments? Like that's
Yeah.
And then be like, oh no, it's only temporary because he's only out because he hurt himself. I'm like, yeah, he's only out for a little bit. Oh no, he got hurt. Oh, like I just feel like I'm just on this ride that I don't know when it's gonna get off, but I hope he's back soon.
Me too. But I hope he's not back sooner than he is comfortable coming back.
Yeah,
I hope he fixes his back and then comes back.
I hope Bear
back,
Mins.
Back then back.
Back then back.
Yes.
Yeah. I hope Bear Mins he comes back 100%.
Yes.
Is what I'm saying.
Sending him much love and.
I feel like we could have done a better pun there. Not sure though. Another
Well,
thing,
I hope he's back in a flash. How about that?
That was pretty good. Another thing that is coming back in a little bit, because it's not a Flash, is coming back in a darker way, is Gotham, which is returning to us for its final season January 3rd, which just so happens to be the date of my ex-boyfriend's birthday. So just so you guys all know that. It's a
Okay,
date I will
good.
not forget. Now you all are aware of
Okay.
that.
I always have that date fresh on my mind.
So
So,
now
thank
you'll
you.
know.
So now I'll know that's Gotham.
And when I saw that, I was like, it's so funny what sticks to you. Like that my high school boyfriend.
But you know how you can remember it?
Somewhere still.
If he was a dirty pig, then you got ham, Gotham.
What?
You got it.
You took a long road there, but I'm there.
It works. Now you're going to see it. Now every time you look at Gotham, you're going to think got ham. And
Got
you're like,
ham.
oh, no.
It was so long. It was so long to get there. Just
It wasn't
kinda
worth
weird.
it.
No,
Yeah.
no. God ham. God ham.
You're gonna think it
Kinda
every
like
time,
got
though.
milk. Maybe we should do a got ham commercial and put ham on your
I don't
upper
think we
lip.
should.
You should put ham on your upper lip, and then we should do January 3rd and see if anybody understands. That's so good.
Okay, we're doing it.
I took it one step too far.
Somebody
maybe?
Photoshop this and send it to us because
Yeah.
we're not going to actually do that, but we
Everybody,
want it.
hold on. We're going to take a second to pose to the wide, and then they're going to put ham.
Put
Ready?
ham on it. You ready?
Yeah, screenshot that and ham us.
Still cheaper than the mustache removal.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, ham stash.
There you go. Then you have the Joker crossover. Then you have the Hamburglar. And then you have Ronald
Oh,
McDonald.
yes, it all ties in.
Let's talk about another look that has some people questioning things, which is the Monitor. We have what they're calling the first look, although We saw a look already prior to this, but that's fine. I don't understand why people get to just say first look over and over again.
Yeah, I'm like, you can't have the first look if we've already seen it.
That-
That
then now it's a
intrinsically
different
is
look.
not,
But really,
But that's
man,
fine.
like anytime you look at something, don't you just see
Isn't
with
that the
new
first
eyes
look?
anyway?
First time.
Yeah.
It's not a hill that I'm willing to die on, so I'm just gonna let it go.
Yeah.
I actually think the monitor looks pretty cool. I know some people don't think that the monitor looks so cool. Where do you guys lie?
I think it looks good. I would also say that, pictures are different than motion. If you're not into it now, you might be when it's on TV. Because certain
So if
other
a picture speaks 1,000 words, then video speaks how many?
Well, I can't do that kind of math.
Oh,
It depends on the
But I'm
frame rate. If it's 24 frames per second or it's... Sorry.
Wait, frames?
another
Depends on what kind of monitor you're looking at.
Another picture for us to check out, but again,
High resolution
killing it.
monitor.
Melissa Benoist, our very own Supergirl, is so amped on Ruby Rose's Batwoman that she actually posted this kind of adorable picture
She's
on
the
Instagram.
cutest.
I love when people post pictures of their eyes closed. It's so funny. It's like, because there was 5,000 different pictures she could have posted, and this one was just like the most excited looking because she's like a little girl, just
And I just
amped up.
love like Ruby Rose with like her like serious in
Yeah.
character Batwoman. Then she's like, I'm Supergirl and I'm so excited because Batwoman's here.
That kind of fits both their personalities really well.
I will say Melissa Benoist kind of reps as hard as Stephen Amell does. Those two like rep the universe so well. I'm not saying Grant Gustin doesn't, but I don't see him posting as many things as these two do to rep the CW universe.
I think since he got kind of trolled online by people because of the suit
Skinny
look,
thing?
I think he kind of
Yeah.
got
I
got a
agree.
little annoyed.
I agree. I would too.
Yeah.
I would too. It is
And
really
I mean,
effing
we've
annoying.
seen so many like the Star Wars actors and everybody just getting off of the internet completely because of it. I feel like if you get negative
Go
feedback,
play Starfire.
yeah.
What
Which
happened
also
then?
everybody
She left
we
from social
talked
media
about
too,
this.
also.
Yeah, it was on here that she left because
Oh.
the picture that somebody took that they were like, look at that janky
I
wig and look at that
forgot
outfit. It looks so
about
bad. And so she
that.
just
I
got off
love
Twitter.
her.
Hey, can we not be dicks, people?
Yeah, and on top of that,
is that all
like
right?
No,
on top
the
of
answer
that,
is
like
no.
that's not even the shut up.
Yeah.
I get so mad.
Off
go.
topic.
Yeah.
Melissa Benoist really looks like Emilia Clarke in that photo.
Yeah, kind of. Kind of. Let's
You know what would be so cute for Halloween if they were Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy? Like that's
would
all
be
I
really
see when I
cute.
see them is I'm like they'd be so cute because that's even in that picture like you just see that expression on both of them.
That would be
Yep.
really cool, actually.
love it.
I'm into that. Going back to Titans for a second, I saw this article on Comic Book on CBR.com, and it's Jeff Johns explaining why Titans is this ultimate fan-driven show. But one of the little gems in there was the fact that they almost weren't able to have Dick Grayson on the show because, as we have seen many, many times on the CW shows, the movie he didn't specifically say this, but the movies get to pick which people that the shows are allowed to have. Deadshot, Deadpool, etc., Amanda Waller, who just died very, very abruptly on Arrow.
It's just
Goodbye,
like,
girl.
No.
So it happens all
You
the
hit a
time.
Waller.
And one of them was Dick Grayson. For the amount of times I've said Dick Grayson so far, you haven't made any puns about Dick. So
I mean, we've already covered the sausage on this
Yeah,
episode.
that's
We'll
true.
leave it.
That's true. So I think that they're very, very lucky that they were able to have Dick Grayson, only because I don't know how the show works without him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense that they waited until
Yeah.
they could get him to.
What
do
would that
it.
look like even?
Oh, that'd be such a strange.
be a
reminds
dick
me
move.
It reminds me of. There you go. It reminds me of remember the awful old Justice League pilot
Yeah.
where they had a whole lot of not Justice League members on it, and it was like. This is the Justice League?
Well, I feel like we would need to almost invent a character. Like we would have
Yeah.
to do a White Canary situation where it was like, this isn't Dick Grayson, it's Rick Mason, and like,
Please
the end of
pick
the
Rick
Dark Knight?
Mason for Halloween
is this
next
the
year.
end of, is this the end of the Dark Knight Rises? Is that what this is?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Your
Rick
middle name?
Mason is my new favorite.
yeah. But he's like, and I'm also a detective.
I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie though, when they said Robin, I
liked
lost
it. I did
I
like
was
it.
into it. I
wasn't
was
a
like,
fan.
I was.
Yeah, picking which actors are which is, sometimes it's black and white and sometimes it's gray, son.
oh.
I knew you were gonna do a joke because you make this face before you're
All
about
the
to.
excitement in me is palpable.
Sometimes it's
And
black
that-
canary, sometimes it's white canary, sometimes it's gray, son. Expand.
Ooh,
I'm sorry.
Our last bit of news for the day before I get us out of here so that the puns don't bleed us anymore. Louis Tan, this was news, and my only news is that this is not news. So Louis Tan was being rumored that because on Titans, a little bit of a spoiler, we did see Bruce Wayne's back. And people were talking about the fact that we're going to end up seeing him and that Louis Tan had been cast as Bruce Wayne based on the fact that months ago he had gone to DC Entertainment and was holding a comic book outside of the DC sign and said something about his dad and Full Circle and et cetera, et cetera. So then there were rumors that he was cast as Bruce Wayne on Titans, and then those rumors were debunked. So there is no news. The news is that there's no news, and no news is fine news.
So basically they got some flack for the back.
How long have you been prepping that one?
Since you started talking about it. But I will say, any excuse to look at Louis Tan and that arm,
so
though,
hot.
like, jeez. Also,
I almost put a
he was at
shirtless
the
one up
amazing.
there.
Oh, I
But
would
then I was
not
like,
have
yeah.
fought you on that. But I will say, one of my favorite moments ever at any convention I've ever been at, the Amazing Comic-Con in Las Vegas, Louis Tan was a guest. And we were playing Mario Kart with all the little kids and just did like a play along. And he was like, "This looks fun." Just ran on stage and played Mario Kart with all of the kids. And they're like, use the parachute. And he was like, "No, did you not see what happens?" And I just thought that was the coolest moment ever. That I was like,
That is great.
That was great.
Side note, Ivan Soto in the chat says White Canary is from the comics, Roxy. Very small character, but from the comics either way. I don't remember White Canary ever being
I don't
in
remember
the
White
comics.
Canary.
Which comic are you talking about? I don't even think that White Canary has had... I think since White Canary was on the show, White Canary has been featured a couple of times, but definitely not
but I
even her own
loved Black
title.
Canary. That was like the one that I read growing up.
I don't
was
remember
like, what?
White Canary, but you could be right, Ivan. Obviously,
I wouldn't be surprised. There's so
I wouldn't
many
be surprised.
characters that they throw in
yeah.
there.
Just let us know in the chat.
I mean,
in the
yeah,
comments,
if
and
they
then we
can have like Porky Pig trying to kill Batman in a comic, then it's like, they could have anything at any point. That did happen, by the way.
We also saw Batman's penis. Victory for all.
Yes. So 2 different cocomics about sausage.
And that's our talk
Porky
about
Pig,
Dick.
right?
That's our talk about Dick. I'm getting the
That dick was Grace. That dick was Grace.
Bat Anthony in the booth is giving me the wrap it up, so we've got to get out of here. But before we do, I want to make sure that you guys know, I know Elena mentioned it before, but we want to talk a little bit about Jonny LoQuasto, who is filming his comedy special November 11th, which is coming up real soon at the La Brea Improv, and tickets are free, which is our favorite word. There are 2 shows. I believe they're at 7 and 9 at night. I will be attending one of them. Hopefully, maybe you guys will be there,
I'll be there.
too. You never
I'm gonna try
know.
to fly out.
Wow, that'd be amazing.
Yes.
Because we got to support our guy. He is deeming this the biggest night of his life. So when anybody says
And if
that,
you've heard his album,
Yo.
he's so damn funny.
I wonder if he's going to sell it there because I have it. And
He
it's so
needs
good,
to,
but
'cause it's so good.
It's so good. It is
It
really
has got me
amazing.
through many a flight.
And Mike Kalinowski is somewhere at Mike Kalinowski. I don't know what he's doing.
Saving the
He's
world
prepping.
as
It's almost
Batman.
Christmas time.
And Adam Gertler is at Adam Gertler, and he's also doing something.
Making food, probably the ninja
Something
foodie.
sausagey. I don't remember exactly what. Elena, where can everybody find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Elena Jordan and on Instagram at that Elena Jordan girl, and also hosting different shows on some of our sister networks too, AfterBuzz TV, some stuff on here, and then also the Amazing Comic-Con in Hawaii is selling tickets right now for the February show. So you
What
guys
sounds
should
better
go.
than February Hawaii with Elena? I want that.
Celebrate Valentine's.
Yeah. Paul, I know that you've got stuff coming up that you can't talk about right now, but they can find you to talk about it on your social.
Yes, Twitter at the Paul Ponte. I don't know who this other Paul Ponte guy is, but it's certainly not me.
You're kind of hard to find on there. I type in Paul Ponte and the doesn't come up. I have to type in.
It's complicated.
So there's a Paul Ponte, but not the Paul
I'm
Ponte.
the.
Yeah.
I'm the, obviously. And also on Instagram, ponte.paul. Look me up on there because I post, I'm somewhat of a photographer, not really good, but that you can be the judge of that. So yeah, there you go.
Thank you, Bat Anthony in the booth, who I believe is at Tony B. Tony. Yeah, I'm thinking that's right, or he would have corrected me. I'm at Roxy Striar, so follow me there. Until next week, same time.
And your Patreon. I'm going to plug it. I'm going to plug it because you guys need to get Patreon it.
It's the top. Ooh, good one. It's the top of the month. Patreon.com/Roxy Striar, where I do bedroom reviews. So I talk about all the movies that I'm screening, and then I give you guys the real information on them. And also, I do this series called Smoke Tree Explain TV where I get super duper baked and try to explain episodes of TV, which I sometimes fail at, but the more I fail, the more fun we're actually having. So check that out. Thanks for the plug, girl. I appreciate it. It's so weird to plug your own stuff sometimes, isn't it?
I'll shout you
That's what
out.
we do
It's
for a
worth
living.
it.
Anyway, next time. See you guys.
Mwah. Bye.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of its owners or principals.